Shekinah, how do you feel watching that again?
I see how it looks. Yeah. You know, it doesn't look great. It looks like he is kind of an ass.
Of your sister is also super disrespectful.
Or taking something out of your mouth. And hitting it on the floor?
Yo, that was it for me.
You know, sometimes you get to a point where you're just sick and tired of someone's attitude. You know, Shekinah has spent the hotel grilling Kimberly, having opinions on other people. But yet she's sitting there and allowing herself to be manipulated. She's sitting there having reasons to justify her behavior with this man. You would think at her age, she'd be at a stage where she doesn't care to tolerate men that are coming in her life to take advantage of her, you know, to take control of her life, to disrespect her. You would think she'd also be at an age where she would value her family's opinion more. But rather than value her family's opinion, well, damn. Girl wants to go against all odds just to make this relationship work with him? Really? The amount of times he disrespected her throughout the season is crazy. And yet we're here to tell her when she's still acting, and she's behaving more delusional than she did the whole freaking season. That is crazy.
Sarper, are you still weighing Shekinah?
No, right now she's in a good form. I love her form right now.
So in a nutshell, if Shekinah was to ever gain weight or lose her form, then you would leave her, right? That's what he's basically saying. You know what? I really do believe that she's really trying to live this Kardashian lifestyle. But let's not forget though, when Kanye was with Kim, Kanye dictated everything that she wore. You know what I mean? Now, of course, for Kim, it wasn't seen as a negative thing, which arguably say it wasn't, you know? But of course, their relationship still went down the drain regardless. You know what I mean? But I mean, listen, there's nothing wrong with wanting your man to dictate certain things in your life. I absolutely agree with. There's nothing wrong with that. But if it's to a level where you become so delusional that you now start to push away people around you that were close to you, that's not even a red flag. That's literally just, I'm walking away.
Free. I want her to eat what I want.
If someone doesn't have some sort of control over me, I feel like they don't care about me.
Yeah, I do too.
Like they don't care. So I actually relate to you in that way and understand.
If Holly was agreeing with me, then I would know that I've lost the plot. I would know there's something wrong with me. 100%. You're talking about a woman who literally left her husband back in South Africa and hasn't been back for like God knows how long. I think about 4 months, I'm not too sure. I mean, listen, if I'm gonna look at anyone on that stage, if I'm gonna want anyone to agree with me, Holly isn't one of those people. If Holly agrees with me, then I know that I'm effed up. Then I know that my choices right now are not in a good place. I know my choices are definitely up somewhere there, and I'm bonkers. If somebody doesn't have control over me, I don't feel like they care about me. That is crazy. But it's crazy though, because you know Holly says that, but then throughout the season, she wouldn't allow Wayne to control her. That's why she left. If she loved the control, then why are you back in America then? Holly, sit down, man. Anyway, your turn is next week when we talk about your relationship. But anyway, yeah, we'll move on for that nonsense.
I don't talk on the phone, but he does send me voice messages. You know, like for example, he sent me some this morning and they just told me like, you know, how to behave today, how to look, you know, what to eat.
What?
Don't use a dark lipstick and don't contour. It shows your lips bigger. Sit straight. What?
You're being exposed, babe.
And if they give you any options, show it to me. Send it to me. I will choose for you.
Sorry, I didn't do that.
Mwah.
It's all good advice.
Whoa. You don't view any of that as toxic, Shekinah, at all?
It's funny, isn't it? How at the very beginning of the season, she was like, I don't want a man that's going to control me. I don't want a man that's going to, you know, put me in a toxic situation. I want a man that's going to allow me to be a good role model to my daughter to show that health relationship does work. Wow. You know what to learn from this? What to learn from this is that Shekinah isn't the kind of person that you can take seriously at face value. She's the kind of person that's going to say a whole bunch of hoo-ha, but in reality, all that bunch of hoo-ha doesn't mean a single goddamn thing. All that bunch of hoo-ha is literally just nothing but BS. If anything, another thing that we're learning is that she only really cares about what she sees as a benefit to her. And how she sees this relationship as a benefit to her is crazy. It is absolutely, it's like she was like, you know what? Because I botched the way I've looked with so many things, I'm going to find someone who's the same. Now, don't get me wrong, when I say botch, I'm not saying that she looks bad, but if you've seen her before pictures compared to how she looks now, completely different person. completely. You know, and for me personally, if you lose your natural look when you're doing whatever you're doing to yourself, right? In my opinion, it's borderline botched because you're no longer genuine anymore to who you are. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You've literally remodeled your whole look. Point blank period. I guess it's a bit different if you're transitioning, but this is one of those cases. You know what I mean? Like, far from it. But hey, man, honestly, the motive behind this woman's love for him, she's like, I'm loved for him. It's not healthy. It's toxic as hell.
Did he sound mean? Did
She's
he
saying
sound
the way he
controlling?
sounds, she said
He's
it's
so
nice, so it
sweet.
almost feels like manipulation.
I look at him as like my leader, and he's leading us.
I'm sorry, but he's not your freaking Messiah. You know what I mean? He's not your Messiah. He's not your Jesus. He's not your Abraham. He's not your leader. What? He's leading us. Wait, who's us? I want to know us. Where's the us? Because, lady, in case you're not looking, the only person that's leading is you. Nobody else is following. Nobody. You've lost like your family because of your us. Like, really? And because the way he says things is not manipulative. The way he says things is respectful. Really? He's called you a SLUT. He's called you a BICTH throughout the season. He's told you that he's going to delete you. He's going to unsubscribe. He told you he can move on with you within 2 days. But yeah. But he's been communicating with you in the most respectful way possible. She definitely did not watch the season back. It doesn't feel like that. She didn't. She avoided the whole season, but she did not want to be hit with reality because even in this tell, when they're showing the clips of what went down, he's like, yeah, I know it looks bad, but it's not like that. All right, love, you just continue lying to yourself because the only person you're fooling right now is you. You're ineffective me.
It sounds like you're dealing with two people who like have really severe like toxic traits, and they've decided to love each other because they both accept each other's toxic traits.
I wouldn't even go down the lane of even saying they both accept each other's toxic traits. It's like, actually, you know what? It's a bit of an interesting one, to be fair. Maybe that is the right way of saying it, but it's just weird though, isn't it? Because no, it's not accepting. It's not accepting because actually no. It's my confusion is that how Shakina is taking a whole U-turn. Throughout the season, she had an attitude. She had no issue with telling him when she wasn't happy with anything that he says. But now all of a sudden, this we've had a whole flip around where she's like, now, actually, no, I'm good. He can say whatever he wants to say to me. He can treat me however he wants to treat me. Literally, she's more than happy to justify everything. Last time we saw them on the season, she was ready to leave him, to bounce. She wasn't happy with him. And now all of a sudden, she's happy to tolerate every single thing. So yeah, you know what? Danielle is right. Goodness gracious me, Danielle is right, yeah. She's literally decided to accept it. But this is the thing though. It's not about two people who are toxic, accept each other's toxic traits. No, that is actually wrong. Shakina is the one that's wanted. She's the one that's in a position where she's now accepted his toxic trait. And his toxic trait is controlling. You see what I'm saying? That's what's happened. She's accepted him. Which is sad because it means that he's never going to value her. Whenever she has a voice, it's never going to matter. And it's evident because clearly she had a voice and clearly that voice is now completely gone. Disappeared. She has become a part of the voiceless people in this world. People who want to have a voice but they can't because they're around people who are just controlling, evil, messed up. Man, this is unstable on a different level.
Pressure to be perfect.
He's not telling me to be perfect.
I think he is.
I don't think he is.
I think he is.
It seems like he's grooming you.
He doesn't make me do anything.
I'm not going to lie to you, but that grooming statement, that one hit hard. That one hit hard. I mean, to be fair, listen, first and foremost, yes, there's this pressure of her being perfect. She's saying that she doesn't see it, but then again, though, you know what, though? She is someone who thrives to be perfect anyway, so I wouldn't be surprised if she didn't see that. She probably sees it as something very healthy because she wants to be perfect anyway. So maybe, so you know what? It does work out in that way. It does work out in that way, to be fair. So that may not be, it may not necessarily be a negative, but you're being groomed. That's a negative. Being groomed is never a positive. Never a positive. Some people in this world, you know, forget about the hardest thing that we face as a baby. The hardest obstacle as a baby, like it's subjective. You can argue this one, right? But I'm gonna go off the wind and say this one first. The first hardest thing to do as a baby is to walk. That's the first hardest thing, to walk. Because we started by crawling. Once we get to the stage of crawling, then we get to the stage of standing up, balance. Once we get to that balance, we then walk. That's the journey. Once we get to that walking stage, boom, we're winning. This woman here has literally undone that whole stage. She went from walking, well, I say that maybe she never did walk, maybe she's always been like this, but let's just say in the scene, she went from walking, having a voice, to then being like, actually, you know what? I'm actually now just gonna balance. I'm not gonna walk, I'm just gonna balance. But now it's like, nope, the balance isn't working. Now I'm gonna start crawling again. Just put herself back in that position where she's crawling, following his lead. Sooner or later, she won't even be crawling anymore. Sooner or later, she's just gonna be back, literally just laying there like this. You know what I'm saying? You know? She's literally doing that backwards right now. That is crazy. You know what's crazy though? When Benjamin Button came out, that was just a film. But in today's society, a lot of people are literally becoming Benjamin Button. A lot of people are going backwards in their life. Tell me otherwise.
That I could say to you, you're not going to be able to process it because you haven't developed mentally yet. So I feel like I can't really, I don't.
Yeah, my relationship with her is done. And I actually don't even talk to anyone in my family since the show.
Who?
Us sisters.
So 6 sisters.
And my mom. I don't talk to my mom.
Wow.
Because of your relationship with Sarper?
Yes.
Wow.
And I know if they met him, they would love him.
Well, your sisters met him.
So she came in guns blazing and she succeeded. You know, he
This is all I'm going to say for this one. You said that you wanted to be a good role model for your daughter by being in a healthy relationship. You're now in a relationship that has enabled you to not speak to any single person in your family, pretty much. So my question is very simple. How are you a good role model to your daughter? So you're basically telling your daughter that if she finds a man, regardless of how you feel about that man, she should just stop talking to you to be with that man, right? All right, cool. You're saying that when your daughter finds a man, regardless of how he is treating her or whatnot, she should stop talking to the rest of the family, her grandma, her granddad, her uncle, her cousins, maybe even her own dad. Is that what you're showing us here? What a role model you are. Damn. I hope I'm happy that she doesn't want any more kids. I was going to say I hope she doesn't have any more, but then again though, she said that she didn't want any more, but the way their life is going right now and he's controlling her, him wanting kids looks like it's the inevitable. And boy, if they have children. I'll just leave that one there. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and of course, peace.